You won't believe why narcissists are so loving to babies. Ladies and gentlemen, listen up, because what I'm about to tell you will shift your perspective on human nature, on relationships, and on your own power in this world. You ever notice how some of the most self-absorbed, egotistical people, narcissists who seem incapable of true love, suddenly become the most adoring, affectionate, and attentive when they're holding a baby? Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because a baby is pure. A baby is undeniably worthy. A baby doesn't challenge their ego, doesn't argue, doesn't hold up a mirror to their flaws. A baby is a blank slate of love. It reflects only acceptance and admiration. And that, my friends, is what the narcissist craves more than anything else. Now, here's where the lesson for you comes in. If a narcissist can shower a baby with love, it proves something critical about human behavior. Love is a choice, not just a reaction. That's right. The way people treat you isn't about who you are, it's about how they see you. And that means, my friend, that you have the power to command respect, love, and admiration without begging for it. So let me ask you, what would happen if you started seeing yourself the way a baby is seen? Worthy, deserving enough, no second guessing, no self-doubt. What if you stopped waiting for approval and instead gave yourself the love and respect you've been searching for? The truth is, people treat you based on the energy you put out. The narcissist adores the baby because the baby is non-threatening and endlessly validating. But when you learn to validate yourself, when you embody confidence, strength, and self-worth, you no longer chase love. Love chases you. So here's my challenge to you. Stop looking for someone to treat you like that baby. Be the force that commands love, because you are love. Stop giving your power away to those who can't see your worth. Start showing up for yourself with the same unconditional belief that you are enough just as you are. Because let me tell you something. When you believe in yourself like that, the world has no choice but to believe in you too. Love is a choice, not just a reaction. Most people go through life thinking love is something that just happens, like it's some magical force beyond our control. But let me tell you something. Love is not just an accident. It's not a reaction. It's a choice. You decide who and what you love, and you decide how much love you allow into your life. Think about it. Why does a narcissist, someone who struggles to love fully, suddenly become soft, affectionate, and nurturing when they hold a baby? Because they choose to love in that moment. They make a subconscious decision to pour affection into that child because it feels safe, it feeds their ego, it doesn't threaten them. So if they can choose to be loving, what does that tell you? It tells you that love is a muscle. And like any muscle, it can be trained, conditioned, and strengthened. It tells you that if you're not experiencing enough love in your life, it's not because you're unworthy. It's because you're not actively choosing to create it. You've been waiting for love to show up instead of commanding it. You've been hoping someone will see you the right way instead of stepping into your power and declaring, I am worthy of love and I decide to give it freely. Let me ask you this. How often do you choose love over fear? How often do you choose to see yourself as deserving rather than questioning if you're good enough? How often do you decide to love others without waiting for them to prove they deserve it? Because that choice, that decision, is the difference between people who experience an abundance of love and those who are always searching for it. Love is not about deserving. It's not about being perfect. It's about stepping up and saying, I will bring love into my life no matter what. The people who live in love, who breathe it, who are surrounded by it, are the ones who choose it again and again, even when it's hard, even when they don't feel like it, even when the world tells them they shouldn't. The moment you recognize that love is a choice, you become unstoppable. You stop waiting for permission, you stop looking for validation, you stop letting other people dictate how much love you can feel, and you start radiating it from within. That's what the narcissist does with a baby. They choose to open up their hearts because it's easy, because it's effortless, because it's rewarding. But what if you made that same choice, not just with babies, but with yourself? What if you decided that you are just as worthy, just as pure, just as lovable? Because let me tell you something, the love you want, the love you've been searching for, it's been inside you all along, but it only becomes real when you choose to let it flow, when you choose to give it, when you choose to receive it without conditions, without hesitation, without fear. So I want you to ask yourself right now, where in your life are you not choosing love? Where are you holding back, waiting for someone else to go first? Because if you shift that, if you decide to take the lead, if you decide that love is yours, everything in your life will change. But only if you make that decision today, right now in this moment, because every second you wait, you're delaying the life you're meant to live. And I know one thing, you were not put on this earth to live a life without love. You were meant to be full, to be alive, to be overflowing with passion and connection. And that starts with a choice. So what are you going to choose? People treat you based on how they see you, but you control that perception. Most people walk through life thinking that the way others treat them is a reflection of their worth. Let me tell you something. That's a lie. People don't treat you based on who you are. They treat you based on how they see you. And that means, my friend, that you have the power to shape that perception. Think about it. A narcissist, someone who thrives on power and control, will treat a baby with endless love and care. Why? Because the baby is seen as pure, as valuable, as special. There's no threat, no resistance, no challenge to their ego. And so the narcissist sees the baby as worthy of love and they give it freely. Now let me ask you something. What if you saw yourself that way? What if you stopped waiting for someone to tell you that you're valuable and instead you walked into every room with the unshakable belief that you are already enough? Because here's the truth. People mirror back to you what you believe about yourself. If you act like you're unworthy, they will believe it. If you carry yourself like someone who deserves respect, they will feel it. If you walk into a room with confidence, people will sense it before you even speak. The world is constantly reflecting you back at you, and if you don't like the reflection you're getting, it's time to change the way you show up. It's time to take ownership of the energy you put out. It's time to realize that the way others see you is simply a response to the way you see yourself. Look at the most powerful magnetic people in the world. Do you think they sit around waiting for others to approve of them? No, they decide who they are. They decide how they will be seen. They decide what kind of energy they will bring into a room, and the world responds to that decision. The problem is most people let their environment dictate their identity. If someone treats them badly, they start to believe they deserve it. If someone ignores them, they start to feel invisible. If someone disrespects them, they lower their standards. And let me tell you something. That cycle stops today because you are the one in control. You are the one who sets the tone. You are the one who teaches people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. When you carry yourself with self-respect, with confidence, with an undeniable sense of worth, people can't help but respond to that energy. And let me be clear, it's not about arrogance. It's about owning who you are. It's about stepping into your truth. It's about knowing that you don't have to earn love. You don't have to prove your worth. You don't have to change who you are to be accepted, because when you show up as your authentic, powerful, unapologetic self, the right people will recognize it, the right opportunities will come to you, the right relationships will form around you. But none of that can happen if you keep waiting for the world to see something in you that you don't see in yourself. So here's my challenge to you. Starting right now, today, this moment, decide how you want to be treated. Decide how you want to be seen, and then embody that energy every single day. Because when you do that, when you take ownership of your presence, when you own who you are, the world will have no choice but to see you exactly the way you see yourself. And that, my friend, is the key to commanding love, respect, and power in every aspect of your life. A baby is loved because it is seen as pure and worthy. You can embody that worthiness now. Think about it. A baby doesn't do anything to earn love. A baby doesn't hustle, doesn't prove itself, doesn't ask, am I good enough? And yet people instinctively cherish it. Why? Because it's seen as pure, as valuable, as worthy. No questions asked. Now here's the breakthrough moment. If a baby can be loved unconditionally just by existing, why do you believe you have to work so hard to deserve love? Why do you put conditions on your own worthiness? Why do you tell yourself, I'll be enough when I achieve this, when I look like that, when I fix this part of myself? Let me tell you something. That belief is a lie, and it's keeping you from stepping into your power. You were born just as worthy as that baby. You didn't come into this world questioning yourself. You didn't arrive thinking you needed to prove anything. You were enough from the very first breath you took. But somewhere along the way, life got in the way. People told you that love had to be earned. Society made you believe that your value was based on external achievements. Maybe someone rejected you and you started thinking, maybe I'm not enough. Maybe someone hurt you and you decided, I have to be better to be loved. But here's what I need you to understand. That story is not the truth. The truth is the love you've been searching for is already within you. It's been there all along. You don't need to beg for it. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to become something different to deserve it. A narcissist can shower love on a baby because the baby represents something simple, unquestionable worthiness. But guess what? That same worthiness exists in you right now, not when you reach a goal, not when someone validates you, not when you change something about yourself. Right now. The difference between people who radiate confidence and those who shrink in insecurity is simple. The confident ones have decided they are worthy. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for the world to confirm it. They made a choice to own their value, just like that baby does, without even thinking about it. So let me ask you, what if you started seeing yourself that way? What if you stopped waiting for someone else to approve of you and instead just knew deep in your soul that you are enough? What if you let go of the need to justify your worth and just embraced it fully, unapologetically? Because let me tell you something, when you do that, everything changes. The way people treat you changes. The way you carry yourself changes. The way you approach opportunities changes. Because confidence isn't about what you have, what you've done, or how others see you. It's about knowing without a doubt that you are already enough. That's the secret. The people who walk through life with power, with presence, with undeniable magnetism. They aren't waiting for love. They know they deserve it. They know they are valuable. They know they don't need to earn it. And when you embody that same energy, love will flow to you effortlessly. So I want you to say it right now. I am worthy. Say it louder. I am worthy. One more time like you mean it. I am worthy. Because when you believe it, when you own it, when you step into that truth, nothing and no one can take that power away from you. Stop chasing approval. Start radiating self-belief. Most people spend their entire lives chasing approval. They adjust who they are. They shrink themselves. They do things they don't even want to do just to be accepted. But let me ask you something. Has that ever made you feel truly powerful? Has that ever led to deep, lasting fulfillment? No, because when you chase approval, you are giving your power away. You are letting someone else decide your value. You are saying, I am only as good as what others think of me, and that is a losing game, because no matter how hard you try, you will never be able to control how others feel. You will never be able to make everyone like you. You will never be able to satisfy people who don't even know what they want from themselves. So stop. Stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for validation. Stop playing small just to fit into someone else's version of who they think you should be. Because the moment you stop chasing approval and start radiating self-belief, you become unstoppable. Think about the most powerful people in the world. Do you think they care what people think of them? Do you think they spend time worrying about whether or not everyone likes them? No, because they are too busy owning who they are. They are too busy stepping into their greatness. They are too busy leading, creating, building, and making an impact. The problem is most people don't trust themselves enough to do that. They wait for someone else to say, you're good enough. They wait for someone else to approve before they take action. And that's why they stay stuck. That's why they feel like they're never enough. That's why they keep chasing something that never fully satisfies them. But let me tell you something. When you stop chasing approval and start believing in yourself, everything shifts. Suddenly, you don't need external validation because you already know you're valuable. Suddenly, you don't fear rejection because you know that your opinion of yourself is the only one that truly matters. Suddenly, you don't settle for less than you deserve because you realize that your worth isn't determined by what someone else thinks. And guess what? When you radiate self-belief, the world takes notice. People respect you more, opportunities flow to you, the right people gravitate toward you because confidence is magnetic, self-belief is powerful. And the moment you decide that you are enough, you will start attracting the love, respect, and success you've always wanted. So I need you to do something today. I need you to stop worrying about what people think. I need you to stop changing yourself to fit into someone else's mold. I need you to stop chasing approval and start showing up as the bold, powerful, unstoppable force you were meant to be. Because when you do that, when you own who you are, there is nothing you can't achieve, nothing you can't become. But it starts with you. It starts with deciding right now that you are already enough. So step into that power, step into that belief, step into the version of yourself that doesn't wait for approval because you don't need it anymore. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others treat you. Listen to me. If you don't respect yourself, why would anyone else? If you don't value yourself, why would the world? If you constantly put yourself last, tolerate disrespect, or allow others to walk all over you, you are training them to treat you that way. The standard you accept for yourself is the standard you broadcast to the world. If you settle for less, people will give you less. If you shrink your voice, people will ignore you. If you treat yourself like an afterthought, the world will do the same. Think about it. When you walk into a room, people pick up on your energy before you even say a word. They feel whether you command respect or not. They sense whether you believe in yourself. They respond to the way you carry yourself, and the way you carry yourself is a direct reflection of how you treat yourself. If you don't prioritize yourself, if you constantly put others' needs above your own, if you allow yourself to be used, disrespected, or undervalued, don't be surprised when people continue to treat you that way. They are simply following the example you set. But let me tell you something powerful. When you decide that you are worthy of more, everything changes. When you start showing up as someone who expects respect, you get it. When you treat yourself with kindness, with care, with high standards, people follow suit. The moment you raise the bar for how you treat yourself, the world has no choice but to adjust. The wrong people will fall away and the right ones will rise to meet you at your level, but you have to take the lead. You have to be the one who sets the tone. You have to decide once and for all that you will never again accept anything less than what you truly deserve. That means setting boundaries and sticking to them. That means walking away from relationships that drain you. That means saying no to things that don't serve you. That means standing tall, looking people in the eye, and owning your worth without apology. It's not about being arrogant. It's about recognizing that you are just as valuable, just as important, just as deserving as anyone else. It's about choosing to show up as someone who respects themselves so deeply that others can't help but respect them too. The way you treat yourself is the foundation of everything in your life, your relationships, your career, your happiness, your success. If that foundation is weak, everything built on top of it will be unstable. But if that foundation is strong, you become unshakable. So right now, I want you to ask yourself, what are you tolerating that you shouldn't be? Where are you settling? Where are you allowing disrespect? Where are you treating yourself as less than you deserve? Because that stops today. From this moment forward, you set the standard, you set the tone, you show the world exactly how you expect to be treated by treating yourself with nothing but the highest level of respect and self-love. You don't need to earn love. You are love. Most people spend their lives trying to earn love. They think if they work hard enough, give enough, sacrifice enough, they will finally be worthy of it. But let me tell you something. Love is not a strap. It is not a prize you win. It is not something you have to chase. Love is something you are. It is something you already carry inside of you. It is your birthright. Look at a baby. That baby doesn't do anything to deserve love. It just exists. And people love it. It doesn't question whether it's enough. It doesn't try to be something it's not. And it doesn't hustle for affection. It just is. And that's enough. So why, as adults, do we start believing that love has to be earned, that we have to prove ourselves, that we have to be perfect before we deserve love? It's because somewhere along the way, we were taught a lie. We were told that love is conditional, that we have to be good enough to receive it, that we have to meet certain standards before we are worthy. But here's the truth. Love is not something you work for. It is something you allow. It is something you open yourself up to. It is something that flows through you the moment you stop blocking it with doubt, fear, and self-judgment. You don't need to be more, do more, or have more to deserve love. You already are love. You already have everything within you to experience deep, powerful, unconditional love, but you have to believe it first. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. to feel loved. Stop looking for external validation. Stop chasing something that has been inside you all along, because the second you realize that you are love, you stop settling, you stop begging, you stop trying to convince people to love you. Instead, you attract love effortlessly because you radiate it from within. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to fix yourself. You just need to accept the truth that you are already enough, that you are already worthy, that love is your natural state. And when you embody that truth, when you step into it fully, love flows to you like never before, not because you chased it, but because you finally stopped resisting it. When you step into your power, love and respect will follow effortlessly. Let me tell you something. Powerful people don't beg for love. They don't chase respect. They don't ask for permission to be seen, heard, or valued. They command it. They embody it, and because they own their worth, the world reflects that worth right back to them. The problem is most people are waiting. They're waiting for someone else to tell them they're good enough. They're waiting for the right circumstances, the right relationship, the right job, the right moment to finally feel worthy. But let me ask you, how much longer are you going to wait? How many more years are you going to waste hoping that one day the world will finally give you what you're looking for? Because here's the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you love, respect, or confidence on a silver platter. You have to take it. You have to step into it. You have to decide that from this moment forward, you are done playing small. You have to own your power. You have to walk into every room with the energy of someone who knows they belong there. You have to stop apologizing for who you are and start owning your greatness. And when you do that, everything changes. People start treating you differently. Opportunities start opening up. Relationships start shifting. But because you did, love and respect aren't things you chase. They are things you attract when you stand in your truth, when you hold yourself with confidence, when you refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve. So right now, I need you to make a decision. I need you to decide that you are done waiting for permission. I need you to decide that you are done questioning your worth. I need you to decide that from this moment forward, you are stepping into your power fully, unapologetically, and without hesitation. Because when you do that, when you finally own who you are, the world has no choice but to follow your lead. Own your worth, own your life, everything you've ever wanted. Love, respect, success, fulfillment. It doesn't start out there.